Fine. Learn this Maamar about Rosh Hashanah. We say in the davening of Rosh Hashanah and Musaf. Which part of Musaf? Malchis, I guess. We say in the parish in the Musaf we say Zayim Tchilas Maasecha Zikaron Yim Rishon. Maybe Zechrein, I don't remember. Kapal we say Zayim Tchilas Maasecha Zikaron Yim Rishon. The Rosh Hashanah is Tchilas Maasecha and it's a Zikaron Yim Rishon. It's a remembrance of the first day of creation. So by Pashas you learn Zayim Tchilas Maasecha. Today is the beginning of creation. Today is the day of beginning of creation. And so you remember it's the first time when it actually happened. Huh?
Started early.
Why? 9 o'clock? Oh, we should wait 30 seconds. That's schon jetzt again.
Easy Makdimi.
Dai kad man tzemot tzadik bal yimel az der Rosh Hashanah. So the tzemot tzadik b'shiz the bal yimel az of Erev Rosh Hashanah. This is the Rebbe said the Maamar Erev Rosh Hashanah. So the Rebbe, the Friedrich, the tzemot tzadik is medayik. The lechuri yesh kan stir mireshel l'seif. Seemingly there is a contradiction from the beginning of this Maamar Zayim Tchilas Maasecha to the end of the Zikaron Yim Rishon. Why? The Pirush Zayim Tchilas Maasecha, when you say this is the day of the beginning of creation, Tchila Mamish, it's Mamish the beginning, who means Sheberesh Hashanah Zayim Atchol Savas Kol Eilamus. It means to say that the Rosh Hashanah, which is Zayim, we're going to soon see why Rosh Hashanah is called Zayim, not because Rosh Hashanah Tchilas Maasecha. We say Zayim. Of course, the Pashtus is Zayim because you're speaking about today. But he's going to say later is a dik why Rosh Hashanah is called Hayim and Zayim. Fine, but the Valley is going to say Rosh Hashanah Zayim who has cholos v'savos kol eilamus is the beginning of the creation of all worlds. What does this mean? That I know shebachol Rosh Hashanah mishavim kol eilamus mechodesh. Kemei shoyi b'pam harishin. Every Rosh Hashanah is the creation of all worlds anew, just like it was in the first time of creation. That's the meaning of Zayim Tchilas Maasecha. The Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of creation. It actually happens. When we say it's a remembrance to the beginning of to the first day of creation is it means that the Rosh Hashanah is only a remembrance to the first day of creation. It's not actually the first day. It's a remembrance because every day just like says Zeichel Tzis Mitzrayim. Tzis Mitzrayim happened based on Tov Mem Ches, and every year Pesach we say it's Zeichel Tzis Mitzrayim. Adar Zahir we're saying it's Zikaron Yim Rishon. We're remembering the first day of creation. It's only a remembrance. So what is it? Is it a creation or is it only a remembrance? That's the kasha of the Tzemach Tzedek. You can ask a shaila, what does it mean that Rosh Hashanah, the world's created anew? What is the pshat? See, he says here in the order 4, he says, every Rosh Hashanah, the Eibush gives chayis to the world, including also the first Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of creation. Is only including for 1 year. The Eibush, so to speak, gives life and not for 1 year. Every Rosh Hashanah, everything goes back to the original state, which is not to have a world. And B'meila has to be, it's recreated. But then there's a shaila on this. What does it mean that Rosh Hashanah, only Rosh Hashanah is the creation of the world? We know, we say twice in davening. Every day is a new creation. Every second, Chassidus explains, Ishavas is every single second. That's the Chiddush of the Baal Shem Tov, that every second, since it's Yesh Mi'ayin, it can't exist on its own. It constantly needs the Dvar Havai to recreate it. It wouldn't exist, or it's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to not be here. The only reason it's here is because the Eibush is creating it. So what's the pshat that the Ishavas is Dafka and Rosh Hashanah? We'll leave it at the question. I don't know the answer, but it's a good question. It's better. The question is better than the answer. The answer is there's a klal, a prat, there's the answers. I don't know the answer. I remember Rabbi asked this question by when he taught the Maamar, and the Baruch wanted to say an answer, so he said, Scott Gilel, how do you know the answer? Like, even though the Baruch was quoting a Maamar, he didn't want to hear. The kasha is a good shaila. But this is the way he asked it. Tzemach Tzedek asked the question on this Maamar, and this part of davening. And it's a stira from the beginning of the saying to the end of the saying. Zayim Tchilas Maasecha means it's being created from the new. Zikaron means it's only remembrance. So the answer is the Rosh Hashanah Yeshnam Shnei Ha'inyonim. These two things are happening on Rosh Hashanah. Firstly, Shu Tchilas Maasecha, it's the beginning of creation, and also V'shahu Zikaron Yim Rishon, it's also a remembrance to creation. The fact that we say Shon is the beginning of creation. Then we add that's the remembrance of the first day of creation. Muchach has proven, it's self-evident. This is so we say that Shon is a remembrance of the first day of creation. Who Naila Yeser is the higher than the fact that it's the beginning of creation. Which in Ashkaf Risheni you would think the opposite. That Tchilas Masecha is the mamish the creation. Zikaron is only a remembrance. It's lower. But here we're saying no. That the remembrance is even higher than the actual creation. We'll soon explain this. Yuvan Zed, the Rebbe is going to explain this. Yuvan is base. Understand this? Behagdim, introducing a biur, the explanation. What does it mean? Bechlal that we say that the day of Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of creation. No, the question. The world is created. What's that? Chofei el nivreilam? Stam lahoyer. So he brings it from Medrash, a lot of places, and there's Teisvis that the Shoshana, that the world is created Chofei el. What's Pshat Chofei el nivreilam? Just off the record. What's Pshat Chofei el nivreilam? The Welt is given El Bechlal, it's given Chofei el, it's given Atchol Sabriya, Atchol Zazman, Shein Arangakt in El and Chofei el. As if Frekt Rabbi Isaac Holmer. I fragt the Shaila. It's a Shaila was a kid asked this question. He asks the question. He explains just in short. He says the whole idea of Zaman, time, is that the Heved, the present, is more precious than the past and the future. That's time. And so the Eibush is higher than future, present, than the past. So that it is constant. There's no present that has more precious. So he says like this. Elul, das eigen dan verstehen. The whole mind from the Rebbe, the first year of Shavuos, Tafshin Aleph. The Rebbe says that the first mimer of Shavuos, Tafshin Aleph, the Rebbe asked the question. The Rebbe started Alpayim Shana Kol Ter Leilam, and the Rebbe asked the question, what does it mean Alpayim Shana Kol Ter Leilam? There's no Zman. Zman is a Nivre. What's Alpayim Shana? And a few answers, the Rebbe goes in and out further, till he comes to Alpayim Shana is going Chachma Bina, whatever, Lafcha Chachma, Lafcha Bina, that it's not an actual Zman.
It's a limitation of certain...
It's Spheres.
But Spheres is also... It's a limit. Whatever. It's not
Zman. It's not time Gashmi. That's what I'm saying. It's a Madreg in Elokus. It's the Eibush the ways for himself. That's Chachma. That's Bina. Meichin. Latzmei. Muvdolim. It's not a Zula. It's not Shach to Zula. It's whatever. That's the Hezbollah the Rebbe says, if I remember correctly. There's even higher, whatever. There's a lot of the Maimah Isha Achaz, the Rebbe says that the way it comes down to be a shaykhs to the world is Kod Mole Eilam. But Be'emes, it's nothing Kod Mole Eilam. It's one thing with Eibush or whatever. But he goes on to say, Elul B'chlal is the ein of Anil L'Deidi V'Deidi Li. We're one with Hashem. So Mimela is not shaykh to be an ein of Zman. That's what Rabbi Isaac says. Anil L'Deidi V'Deidi Li, we're one with Hashem. There's no time for Zman. The Chofei Be'elul, Chofei is Koi. We're already out of the idea of Elul, then could be Nivra Eilam. If willst haben a Welt, it teaches nicht in Elul. We're not in the Inyan of Adin L'Deidi. This is what he said. This is.
You're going to lower Dargin.
As I have this. In order, the whole Elul is higher than the Chofei Elul. As he sagt. This is what he says. That Chof Elul, the word is that the yeah, of course. But this is what he says. In the same vein, he says also, what's Pshat? Eikev Anove Yiras Hashem. Eikev Anove, the soul of Anove is Yiras Hashem. On the other hand, we say, Reishis Chochma Yiras Hashem. How could these two psukim? That Chochma, you say, the Reishis of Chochma Yiras Hashem. And Anove is the Eikev. So the Anove is Bitl. Ein of us halpa Yichud Lo Yichud Tata. So he realizes the Emes of Elokus, so he's living it. So there's no place for his feelings, his Yiras Hashem. Yiras Hashem teaches us Yesh Misha Margish. There's someone that feels Yesh Misha Yorei. But Eikev Anove, Mekricht HaReis von Anove, then there's Yiras Hashem. But Chochma, which is Mitzvah and Teira Mitzvahs, over there is Reish is Chochma. The beginning of everything has to be Yiras Hashem, or else who knows where you could end up. So I'm putting the same idea, the same vein, the same idea. As in the Lakus ist doch kein Welt. Willst du eine Welt auf meine Reis gehen? Eine Reiskirchen, Kiviyachel. Whatever. Okay. Shit. That's just for the words. Chofei El Nivrei. Fine. So the Pashto Pshat is, the question is that he's asking that since Chaf El the world was created, so the world started off on Chaf El, and Yesh Hashanah is the day that Adam Rishon was created. So that's the 6th day of creation. That's the day of the end of creation. How do we say this day that is the beginning of creation? Obviously, the reason why every year we say Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of creation is because this is what happened the first time. And the first time it wasn't like that. The first time it was only the end of creation, not the beginning of creation. And this explains the Tachlis Hakavon the Bris Elam Hu Sheyeh Begilei Elokus. Why the Abe should create the world and there should be Gilei Elokus? The world in Tzadatzim is nothing to it. The only purpose that it exists is that there should be Gilei Elokus. Va'ad Shaydei Kol Prat to Prat Sheba Abriya is Galak Vedish HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Until that in every single detail, ayot of existence should be revealing the covet of the Eibishter. Kamaim Rezal B'Sim V'Cheis in Masechta Avos, like it says in the end of Masechta Avos. Kol Mashabar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Be'elam Le'broi Elul Lichvedei. It doesn't say Broi Lichvedei. Le'broi Elul Lichvedei. It's only reason it's existed is to be Megala the Kvedish HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Gil is a nice idea of it. So who is Megala, the covet of the Eibush in every single ayot of existence? That's through the person's Aveda. Now we'll understand why we say on the day of Rosh Hashanah that this is the day of beginning of creation. Why? Why is it? Because this concept, Shi Gilul Kuz Be'elam, that there should be revelation of the Eibush in the world. Shehu HaMechuven the Mashiach. This thing started in the day the man was created. So we say Zayim Tchilas Masecha, which means Zayim Tchilas HaMechuven de Masecha. This is the day, the beginning of the Mechuven, the goal of creation happened on this day. She says the Neis, if it was besides the fact was Dafke, only when Adam Rishon was created, Naisaf, Sav, Shardis, Shiyeh, Gil, became the possibility that should be a revelation of the Eibush in the world. Nasos came, Gam, Bepeil. It actually happened that there was a revelation of the Eibush in the world. Kemaim Razal, like it says, Adam Rishon, that Adam Rishon, B'yem Shen Nivre, Hichuz Chol HaBruim, right away, when he was created, he announced to all the creatures, Beu, Nishtach, V'nichra, Nivre, Chol V'nei Havai Yisenu. Let us kneel in front of the Eibush which made us. Everyone answered, Avai Moloch Geus Lovish. He's referring to all creatures. Cheshvan can mention, not a part. So he's saying to all the creatures of the world that everyone should recognize the Eibush, and everyone realize that Avai Moloch Geus Lovish, the Eibush is king. So that's not just there's the ability of making Gilei Elokus, there actually was Gilei Elokus, and every creature was screaming and they're heading that the Eibush is his king. Shleimar says the Rebbe further, because still according to this comes out that's not Tchilas Masecha, it's Tchilas HaMechuven Masecha. So he says Zeshem Zayim Tchilas Masecha Agam Sheshonu L'Chur Rakas Tchilas HaMechuven Masecha. It's only the goal of creation, but it's not the beginning of creation. So he answers Hu Ki Ma'aseh Mir Al Shleimus. When you say Masecha, Ma'aseh, action, that's the shleimus of the thing. Just like a person. Shleimus the cholin hu k'shebab bepeil dafke. What's the completion of anything? When it actually comes to fruition, it comes to peil mamish. That's what a person. That is ogam la'maylo. The same thing is true by the Eibishter. Va'adrab, not just we say just like a person is so to by the Eibishter, the contrary, and just the opposite. From this, the way it's by the Eibishter came down that this is the way it happens by a person. Why? Because Adam is Adam el-Elyon. The whole existence of the person is that he's Adam. He's similar to the Eibishter. So what's by the Eibishter? Shashleim the kol seder shtalshel si b'asiyah davke. The completion of the whole seder shtalshel is in asiyah. Now I understand what it says. At this day of Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of Masecha, the beginning of Shleim is the Ma'aseh Mir Al Shleimus. Ma'aseh shows on Shleimus. Shayim, the Rosh Hashanah Yem Brei Adam Rishon was Chol Shleimus HaBriyah. The day of Rosh Hashanah, the day when Adam Rishon was created, is the beginning of the Shleimus of the Briyah. Now we know why it's called Tchilas Masecha. Even though it should have said Tchilas HaMechuven Masecha, it started on Kechafei. So first he answered that the mechuvan of the whole creation is that it should be Gilul L'kus, and that happens on Rosh Hashanah. Then he's not sufficed with this answer. He says that's only the mechuvan of Masech. So he answers what? Ma'aseh means shleimus. Shleimus means that it's come to why it's here. So therefore, this happens. Zayim tchilas ma'asech. The shleimus of the bria comes on Rosh Hashanah because that's when it has Gilul L'kus.
It's not really shleimus.
It's shleimus. That's the shleimus abriya.
No, but shleimus is der b'tachtenim, whatever.
Der b'tachtenim, according to what his level. This is his aveda. He did his aveda of Gilul L'kus. You're saying, of course, it's not the ultimate. Of course, not the way it's going to be lost of it. I hear you. And there wasn't matter yet. There was a lot of things missing yet. I hear you. But what he was able to do, what he was capable of doing, he did. He started doing. It's tchilas masech. It's not the end of masech. It's tchilas masech. Tchilas hashleimus.
Before that, it's
There wasn't. Yeah. Here is the beginning of it. Of course, it's not the completion. Of course, that's why we're still here. Or else we go boom. We go back to the beginning, back to where we were. Now the Rebbe says, now he's going to explain also the Zayim. Why we here in this verse, in this saying, we say, in regard to Tchilas Masech, we call Shoshana Tchilas Zayim. Zayim hu gilu b'tachlis, the ultimate revelation. Why? Because Zeh made al gilu. When you say this is a revelation, you show with your finger and you say this is it. So that's the firstly of gilu. You could show it. B'chalal says that only a lakus is Zeh. Klip is Shom. Zeh is a lakus. Zeh steht in Chassidus, yeah? Kashta Mishom, that's the word, that if you should look for the Eibshe from Klippe, from where the person with the thing got lost. Yeah, and yeah. Right? So the lakus is Zeh because the Eibshe is the only real thing that we could say, this is it. It's not something else. We're saying anything else besides the Eibshe, it's not really the thing. The Ein of Atal and Neichach is only on the Eibshe. And the Eibshe Guf, it's only not okay. Akaponim, he says that's Zeh, the Ein of Gilui. The Yem is also made al Gil. Lichtigkeit is openness and revelation. What's Lichtigkeit? Lichtigkeit means that it's openness, it's clear, you can see everything. There's nothing covering over. That shows the ultimate revelation. Now we'll know why it says Zeh Tchilas Masecho. Why is the Shoshana called over here Zayim? Gil, because it's air. Yeah, yeah. Because air is the name of Gil.
Without the Yom comes out Zatul. So in other words,
right, if it wouldn't be Lichtig to Garnish Gezan, yeah. You could give him there. Zayim Tchilas Masecha. Zeh Shoshana Tchilas Masecha. Schol Shleim Sabriya. Why is the Shoshana called the beginning of Maasecha? The Shleim Sabriya, who Sha'oz His Chilina Gilui. That's the in that is them is a shleimus. Zayim, that is Tchilas Masecha. Not just Bereish Hashanah happened Tchilas Masecha. This that Rosh Hashanah has Gilui L'kus, that is the Tchilas Masecha. Zayim is Tchilas Masecha. The idea of that Shana Mission has Gilui L'kus Be'elam Kanal. In Zayim, that's the in of Zayim. If you want to look in the order 19, which is connected to order 15, he says over here, let's start with order 15. Order 15, he says like this, Kol anavim isnabu b'koi, over there in the maamarim, being Kol anavim isnabu b'koi, meishin isnabu b'zeh, look over there, b'shom gam kinim b'chofi b'el nivre'elam abri b'b'chines koi. The bri b'chines koi means the Eibush is not so revealed. But Rishonik zayim lahabish b'chines zeh, we're actually bringing down the in of zeh. Brings over maybe behemsh chazayim tchilas masech al der shlos lo v'namar v'hoy b'imo v'amar b'imo in l'keinu zeh shu apos shu b'gmar v'medz shbar abo, that the Eibush is obvious. That's the in of zayim. That the Eibush is begilui, not just koi that we know something about the Eibush. The Eibush exists, but we don't see him. Zayim can actually see him, like al der shlos lo. So he says in order 19, the zeh gilui amovus. Zeh zayim. The el mishner b'chofi be'eloy b'chines koi. Or b'shishon yem b'ri'adam arishin nice b'chines zeh. Shishon in the world became in a level of zeh. So gapir zayim ki gam yem hu gilui. Fine. So this is the word of zeh and ayem. Both shows in the name of gilui that the Eibush is revealed that they're able to see Elokus through the Aved of Adam Rishon.
So before, when there was the aim, it was not Gilui.
There was no Gil, there was a Gil even of Koi, the Rebbe says.
So when a Gilui was just not really a Gilui.
Not the ultimate Gilui.
Didn't have
The Aved of Adam, yeah. In the Maimer Mem Aleph, the Rebbe brings high the in of Chafayel, very high. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yochid Be'ilomei, that the Eibush is the only existence. And then you have to figure out how Rosh Hashanah is even higher.
But the Gilui came in one of the Marishan. Before that, there was no who knows the Eibush existence.
There was no people knowing it.
Oh, the source.
Es ist gar kein Fegel Chechnisch. Es ist gar kein Fegel Schechnisch. Der erste Tag ist kein Mensch, nur Erev Cheshach. Yeah. Good. But he says, B'chafi Odem Re'em B'chinas Abri, Hoi Abri B'chinas Koi. So it's not such a revelation. Even though it's Yechidi Be'ilomei, all the miles, but it's coolness to the mile of Rosh Hashanah. Fine. Now he's going to go further to say another taich why it's called the Rosh Hashanah. Even deeper to say this idea why it's called the Rosh Hashanah Tchilas Masecha. It's known it's known that a person's Aved has the power to transform the past. He was formed by the Eibusher's hands, and for sure he has the ability to transform the past. Not just from now on everyone has a recognition of the Eibusher. He transformed their existence of before. How did it happen? The Rebbe explains the key even since. He brings in the order 20, it's a very interesting order. A person is able to change the past. Besides, it has the capability to change his own past. Someone who does tshuva. He's Eker the Ov Mitchilose, like the Bavusta Vort that Rebbe learns. In the Pshat and Tanya it says, what's a Beinani? The Over Averim Yom of Liavel Eilam. So no one has a chance of being a Beinani. And it says, Tshuva Me'ave, everyone could change the past. It's not the Pshat is, whatever happens could be changed. But Meila is able, everyone could be a Beinani. Midas Abeinim, Midas Kol Adam. The Rebbe is Mechadish, that in order to change Neker Averim Mitchilos, you don't have to have Tshuva Me'ave, even Tshuva Me'ire. There's a lot of Chidushim of the Rebbe in this Sugya. It goes weiter, even not himself, he could change even the outside. He's a Chocham, he's taking care of the person that's coming to be Matra Neder, and he's Eker Meikari. It brings the God, Shule Agili in the session, Yegia Khan, who Shinya Dvovar B'dvarim Shechutz Mimenu. Re'elu Kamon B'fnim, Adei Avedis Adam Rishon, Naas Shini B'over Shebe'elam. He changed not just his past, he changed the whole world's past. This is before the Chet. Right when he's born, right when he's created, he was said right through with the world. I don't know when it was. You know what? I don't know when he said it. But it says, Mashma, Miyad Shenivra. He said, what's the Lashon? B'yem Shenivra. He transformed the whole, because the existence of the world was that it just exists. It doesn't reveal godliness. He made that everything should reveal godliness, not just from today on, even from yesterday, from Chafayel, it should be revealing the Eibishter. How? He's going to explain in the Pnim. He's just finishing the order. So we see that Bezdin has a power to change the past. Even though she lost her soul, she comes back. Doctor, why is this? The key in Shekavonus Abri Milchat Chilehi. Why does the world exist? Just to be? No. It's in order that the world, that the Adam through his Aveda should bring a Lakus in the world. Therefore, so once the Adam, the person through his Aveda brings godliness into the world, he elevates the world even which existed earlier, befrat, and especially his whole being is a preparation to the revelation that the person is going to actually bring into the world through his Aveda.
Basically, you gather that the whole creation until
is only here. Yeah. Al Derech says in Tanya, when you get to Mashiach, Shalakach Nivra Mitchilose, that the whole purpose of creation is to have Gilei Mashiach. In the Perik Lamed Vov, it says Shalakach Nivra Mitchilose, that it's not a Chiddush we're going to make in the Bria. We're Megala the Bria. We're Megala something in the Bria. But he brings over here, if so, why is the Shoshana Tchilas Maasecha? In order 23, he asks a big question. How do we say that the Shoshana is the beginning of Gilui Elokus in the world? This is the whole reason why it was created. It should have a connection with the Eibishter. So he says, the reason for this is, why do we say it's Tchilas Maasecha, it's the beginning of something new? Something new happened on Rosh Hashanah. The whole creation is always waiting for this reality, so it's not something new. So he answers, the reason for this is, what's world? Kishmei, Elam, Eloshin, Helam, Behester. What's a world? World is hiding and not the revealing of the Eibishter. So therefore, so this fact, so this mere fact that this whole being is here, that it should have, he's preparing in order that the person should work in him and reveal Gilui Elokus in him, is not revealed in him. Yisrael Mizu, not just it's not revealed. It's impossible to be revealed. Therefore, since it's impossible to be revealed, because that's the world is Helen Behester, V'nimtzo comes out, so even revealing of the being of the world which existed before, which happens on Rosh Hashanah, is a novelty, something new. He's starting a new reality, a new existence. Although the world is only here in order the person should change it, a dimensional bite, in it, but it's not revealed in the world, so that's will never come to it. Therefore, it's a chiddush. Now we'll know back in the inside. Now we'll know why the day of Rosh Hashanah, the day Adam Rishon was created, is Tchilas Maasecha. The Pirush HaPosh, the simple meaning of Ein Yetzim De Pshute. The Tchilas Maasecha what calls Kol HaMaisim, that it's the beginning of the creation of all actions, of all meaning, all things that the Eibishter made. Gam HaMaisim Shoy Yom Rishon the Maisim Bereshis, even the things that were created in the 5 days of creation, before the 6th day, which is the day Adam Rishon was created, and not just that the creations kill Gam HaZman Yom Yomelu, even the time. Like the Rebbe brings here from the Siddur, the Gam HaZman Atzmu B'chinas Nivra M'chudesh. Even time is also a creation, also something new. Some argue with this. This is a whole chiddush of Chassidus. This is the Trever, I think, was arguing with the Magid, the ganze Maisa Parish, anyways, the man, if Zman is a Nivra or not. But the Magid, the bringing the Alter Rebbe from the Magid, that Zman itself is a Nivra M'chudesh. So he says over here that even Zman also begins really on Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because through the Aved of Adam Rishon, he elevated the world, he transformed the world which existed before he was around. Now everything begins to exist, even though it was there before. But now he elevated to a new realm of existence. So it's now really his real beginning of his being. It's a new way of existence. You can't say really that. So it's a new thing that happened only this day. Just like the first time Rosh Hashanah, when Adam Rishon was created, becomes the shleimus of the Bria. That's Maasecha. We say more than that, not just Zayim Maasecha. We say Be'evin Shel Chidush Tchilas Maasecha. He made a new thing to the world. That's something which is Be'inarek to what was before. That it didn't have it within it in itself. It will never come to it on its own. So it was true. Every year Rosh Hashanah, that through the fact that a Yid makes the Eibishter should become his king, makes Achtoras HaMelech, makes the Eibishter should become his king, Val Kol Elam, not just his king. He wants the Eibishter to become king over the whole world. The Eibishter, the ganze Welt is Charen Elokus. The whole world should feel the Eibishter's Meluche. Nasa Shleimus V'Chiddush B'chol HaBriyah. He causes that it should become a Shleimus and a Chiddush in the whole creation. V'ad Shai Days and Nasa Shleimus V'Chiddush Gam L'maylo. In L'maylo, in the whole Seder Shtalshus becomes a Chiddush. And the Rebbe would always say that it's also from the Alter Rebbe because they say it in different Lashonos. And the saying of the Mishnah that says you should know what's higher than yourself. The Chol and Yom Shalamayla Mimach. You should know Malayla, whatever exists Lamayla is Mimach from you. Anything that happens Lamayla is dependent on you. So when a person is megal kusim veld, it's better chidish and the whole seder stalshless. Fine. Well, to the noch Zeit. Okay, weiter. Dalid. After he says he adds on higher level. That's what he says. In order to understand what Zikaron Rishon is in addition over Zayim Tchils Masecha, we have to first understand what Zayim Tchils Masecha is. Why is it that Rosh Hashanah is called Zayim Tchils Masecha? It's the beginning of creation. So he explained that because he made Gilul Kusim Veltas Mechadish, a new entity to the world, has now a connection with the Eibishter. It was Megal Kvedish Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then the pasuk we say the Nusach and Fils Musaf adds Zikaron Liyem Rishon. That what? Zesh Shoshana Zikaron Liyem Rishon. Who Naila Yesim is Zesh Tchilas Masecha. This that Shoshana's Zikaron Liyem Rishon is even higher than Tchilas Masecha, and that's why we say it, because the Churah we set such a high level, we came to the level of Zayim Tchilas Masecha. We say no, you should know there's more than that to Rosh Hashanah. It's also Zikaron Liyem Rishon, which is even higher than the fact that it's Tchilas Masecha. Why? So he teaches, he says, Tchilas Masecha, what's Tchilas Masecha? Shleim Zachidish Dabrish and Naisu, David Sodom. Tchilas Masecha is a completion and a new existence that the world gets through the Aved of the person, canal. What's the Amshach that happens through the Aved of a person? It's only from such a level that the Yisur Sata could be made. That's the union of Zayim Tchilas Masecha. Megala Lakos from a level that shaykh to the Yisur Sata. Yisur Sata is later, which Yisur Sata is later Bechlal is a Chidish Nifla. That Bechlal we should be able to be Me'er L'mayla something is a Me'er Nifla and Be'er Bein Arich. But Lepeil, it's called Chassidus Hechach Retzeni TV. The Eibusher wanted and he made it that the system that through Yisur Sata be Yisur Sata. But it's Lepeil, it's only in something which is Be'erach Mokar and Nivroim. Mash Ein Kini,
Just to play back up.
Yeah.
Then the Gimel.
Yeah.
What's the Chiddush that we do every year?
Megal Kusim Welt. Aber nur ein deeper Reifen.
But it's
Shlei Berach.
still not the ultimate. So what are we accomplishing
It's
more?
Tchilas Masecha. It's a higher level Bein Arich to the last year. That's the Lashon in Tanya.
The first one was a jump.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now after that, it's all.
It's also, in a way, it's
Still
also
not-
a job, because when you
No,
get to higher levels, it's a job.
the Rebbe says in Tanya that every year is Hey Meir Chodesh Mechudesh Shalei Heir Me'elam Me'elin Kozeh.
Okay.
Shlei Berach. Tavshin Pei Vav will be Shlei Berach Tavshin Pei. Tavshin Pei will Shlei Berach Tavshin Pei Dalet. And where do you see it? That's the question. That's the bottom question. What was that in this? The Rebbe wanted to bring that every Rebbe is higher than the Rebbe before. Malamokim noch hecher. Where do we see it? The Chassidim, the Churah, the Alter Rebbe's Chassidim were higher. The Rebbe said, I remember reading it, that in order to penetrate a lower generation, you have to have a higher age. So in Mela, it's a higher Rebbe. Anyways, we're in touch with something higher than before. They come as zog. After the another, be basically. The jump that was from nothing to something. A doz zok is happening every Shoshana. That's be'ein arich. Adar yitzis mitzrayim. You say every day is Yitzis Mitzrayim Lagabi yesterday. I could go Be'ein Arei to where it was yesterday. I could count the whole Aved of yesterday is Mitzrayim. And today's Aved is Yitzis Mitzrayim Lagabi the Aved of yesterday. Fine. Mashen Kirin Yem Rishon.
So like Legabe.
That's what it is.
Like Rosh Hashanah, we did the ultimate.
Yeah. Yachas to before. That's Chol Shleimus. Tchilas Masecha. Tchilas Masecha. The Shleimus of Masecha will be Mashiach will come. Even then there'll be aliyahs. Tzadikim ein lo menucha, leiba ein lo mazev, leiba ein lo mabah. There's never. The Eibush is Ein Sof. So our aliyahs are also Ein Sof, and every madriga, like the previous levels, Ein Sof, Vein Arich. As I stated in some above, the second Maamar, Zayim Tchilas Masecha, he speaks about this union of Gan Eden. That all the levels of Gan Eden are Be'ein Arich one to another.
I remember it's Ad V'Lechal.
Yeah, Ad V'Lechal, yeah.
And he will staying there. I was staying you. And
Okay, wo halt man da?
Sorry.
he was staying
No
there.
problem.
I was staying you.
Was she'enkin in yim rishon ho. Should we stop here or go weiter? I don't know. A little further. Okay. She'enkin in yim rishon ho. What's the type of yim rishon? It's commission varad mit Tzemach Tzedek B'Shanal. Tzemach Tzedek sagt, שהמשוך עוז הויסו מצד עצמי. יום ראשון is different. It's not Aveda V'Adam. It's the Eibush on his own comes to the word person. K'lehoy Adai Mishe'eder. In Yom Rishon,
And I will carry you.
there was known to be made the Eibush, Mishkotz V'Adam Ayin. Eine late, actually, how Yisrael Sata Bepeil, it's like Shaykh Al Yisrael Sata. At such a high level, we say that the Eibush is removed, not just that there's no Bepeil Yisrael Sata, it's not possible to be Yisrael Sata. המשוך עוז היה Hoysa mitzad chasdei yisborach. Why the Eibush should be nimshach then? Only because it is chesed.
Upright, upright. We're going around your presence. Upright, upright. We're going around your presence.
Which chesed, Doctor? Ki chofetz chesed. The Eibush is hainu, which means, what's the stress in ki chofetz chesed? It says always that the first gili was the name of ki chofetz chesed. By the days, if was there, Shem shochach shoed yitzrus l'sata b'chins dinu mishpot, besides the fact today, the Amshach through Sat is dinamish, but we deserve it. We do have Veda, we're deserving. Amshach also is Mitzad Chassid, but then the Amshach was Mitzad Chesed, which shows Elam Chesed Yibona, which shows that it's nothing to do with our Veda, it's just because he's kind. In Chesed Zed Yim Rishon, Olamaylo Leirak Ma Chesed Kameshu B'Midis. But the Chesed Yim Rishon is higher than the Chesed which is in Midis. It's even higher. Lagam l'mayla meishor shekemeshu b'meichin. It's even higher than the chesed is in meichin. V'chulu. It's higher even than v'chulu, even higher than the chesed waits in rotzen. Why? Ki inyana yolei chesed ala chofetz chesed. What's the inyan of this chesed? Not the chesed. It's chofetz chesed. It's inyan chefetz tainug. Al shachefetz hu sheyeh chesed. It's a tainug. The Eibush is tainug. The Eibush on the ultimate level is tainug. There's mekubalim or rishenim. We used to say, Ein lamayla me'enig. The highest level is Tainuk. The Alter Rebbe, the Mittel Rebbe in Shara Yichud writes that it's not like the Mekubalim wrote. As he looked at the Mittel Rebbe in Chav Gimel and Shara Yichud, he writes that the lake, Mekubalim Rishem, which say Ein lamayla me'enig, there's much higher than Einig. That's Manafesh. He schreibt it. But this is Giluyim, this is the highest thing, Tainuk.
It's limited. It's limited to...
It's a pleasure, as a tchuna, a teir. Yeah. He's going to say so. Yeah, I'm not serious, yeah. Well, it's interesting the way he writes it, anyways. From this comes out the inyan of Elam Chasti Boneh, that the world is being created from Chesed. Why? From this Chefetz was created the in of Chesed, which from it was created the world. So what's Chesed the way it's in Midas, Chesed the way it's in Meichin, Chesed the way it's in...
Eber sagt das Chefetz. Also der Eberste ist Chofetz Chesed.
Yeah.
Das ist von dem Werk.
Elam Chesed Yibon. The world is becoming from Chesed. But in order that it should become from Chesed, dafür ankommen zu Chofetz Chesed. Why do you need to have Chofetz Chesed create the in of Chesed Mamish?
So what is it?
Oh, the reason for that is, why do you need to have Chefetz and Nimna Chesed Shemen in the Elam is like this. Even from Chesed Zeichnish Genug. Chesed, the idea is like this. If the world would be created from Chesed, what would be the world? We would feel we're only here because the Eibush is a Chazdan. The Eibush is kind. We would feel in everything, you know why we're here? Because the Eibush is a Chazdan. That's, if not for Malchus and the lower levels in Parse, we would feel our mitzvahs, that what's our whole mitzvahs, our whole being is because the Eibush is kind. And this is coming from, this is even if we have Chesed, the way it's in Midas. Now, speak about B'shorsh, the way it's in Meichin. Over there, the Chesed is not about the Zulas, it's only because he could do anything. He's nated l'chesed. He could give chesed to someone else because he's understanding that there's a place for the in of chesed, not because he's actually feeling for the others. Or higher than that is you have rotzen, that is not the in of understanding the concepts. It's just what he wants. Just it says that rotzen is not nitfus in the thing that he wants. When you want something, it's not about the thing that you want. It's about yourself. Rotzen, pure rotzen. When do you say a person is using his rotzen? When you're a person using his rotzen, the pshat is, he has no reason, rhyme or reason why he wants it. It's just because he wants it. When you want it, so why does he want it? If he does no reason, why does he want it? Because he wants it. So what does he have in the thing that he wants for the tissue box, whatever he needs, whatever he wants, not needs, because if he needs it, then he has to have it. He's not wanting. Wanting means I could want or not, and lapel I want. So what's the thing that he wants? Because he wants it. So what does he see in the thing? He sees himself. He doesn't see anything other than himself. That's Taichrotzen. He doesn't step out of himself. It's not because of the Teichen Adover that he wants, that's why he wants it. He wants it because he wants it. And here we're saying it's even higher than Rotzen. It's Tainuk. Tainuk is even higher. Because Rotzen, at the end of the day, is a Mashiach, is Nimshich La'adover. Tainuk is a Tainuk, gefindt sich in ganzen in sich. So he says that that's the union of the Ha'ara on the first day of the creation was made, not Chesed, rather Chofetz Chesed, Tainuk. But then what did he want? He wanted Chesed, and from this came the world, because he made from this Chofetz a Chesed, because if not, if there would be, Chofetz would be made, the whole world would be on the level of Tainuk, that it would be made, the Eibish's Tainuk, that it would be made, the Eibish's pleasure. There wouldn't be a place for otherness other than the Eibish himself. So it had to be Nimna Chesed, Shemimenu Nimna Elum. That's what it says, Elum Chesed Yibana. You have the Maamer Bar Mitzvah, Elum Chesed Yibana, whether the world was created through Chesed, or when the Eibish wanted Elum, is Chesed Yibana. Let there be created the union of Chesed, in order there should be a relationship to the world, Kameshuhu. So, Kaponim, Yeshleimar, Shatam, Apnimi al Zeh, Shem Arishin Abrinika, B'Shem Yem Rishon. In a reason why the first day of creation is called Yem Rishon, who? Ka'agil, the Chofetz Chesed, She'er B'Yem Zeh, Ervi Gilu Yem, Ervi Gilu Arishin. The revelation of Chofetz Chesed, which shine in this day, is the first revelation. It's the cause and the source for Chesed, which from it came all the worlds. So what's the pshat? That the first day is called, why is it called Yom Rishon? Because it's Gili Arishin. Yeah. Now we'll know why is the Koran Rishon is even higher than the in of Zayim Tchils Masecho. Zayim Tchils Masecho, we said, is the Aveda of Adam Rishon to be Megal Elokus in the world. But Zikaron Leim Rishon is even higher. When a Yid says the words Zikaron Leim Rishon, what is he saying? The Bechol Rosh Hashanah, every Rosh Hashanah, mentioning the creation the way it was on the first day of creation, the first day of creation. Then was shining the Chofetz Chesed. That's why the world was created, because the Eibish's Chofetz Chesed. Through this, we're Mamshich this revelation. Now we'll know why the fact that Rosh Hashanah is being Zikaron Leim Rishon, remembrance to the first day of creation, is higher than this, that Rosh Hashanah is Tchilas Masecha. Why is it? Tchilas Masecha hu Mashinim Shchadei Source L'Sata. Tchilas Masecha, that we say that he brought a Lakus in the world, is something that happened through his Aveda. It's not, there's higher than the whole in of Seder Shtalsh, the higher than the whole in of Mailamata. It's a cause for Mailamata, and he himself is higher than Mailamata, Ela v'Tata. It's higher than the whole idea of Isus l'Sata, Isus l'Eila. It's higher than the Ela and the Tata. He has no shaykhs to it. It's the Eibishter himself, Kamei Shahu. That's what's meir when a Yid mentions Zikaron Leim Rishon. He's mentioning that he's the Eibishter created the world on the first day because he decided. So he's Megala this level of Mamshich Gilizeh. Like he brings over here, the Taichin is kind of an item. When you mention something, it happens. A person mentions the idea of creation the way it was on the first day of creation, it actually brings it down.
Like a direction. It's going even nice.
Yeah.
Away. A direction, what's the tone?
Yeah, you have to remember this is.
You won't know what to do.
Yeah, this is the idea, to know, to remember what happened in the first day of creation, and that itself brings down the Amshach which happened on the first day. That's the name of Chofetz Chesed.
But because of this, it comes to the higher Gil.
That's what's higher than the Aveda. So that's what the Rebbe said when they get to Shon Shcholis B'Shabbos, we don't blow the shofars. The Rebbe asked the Kasha, wie kann sein, felt Avedas Adam for Tkir Shefer? So the Rebbe says, there's the bewusst answer that the Shon Shcholis B'Shabbos, you have the Aveda, you have the in Shabbos itself is Mamash the Aveda, the Amshach of Rosh Hashanah. There's another husband, the Rebbe says that the not blowing is the touch of the hairs, that you can't bring down the Eibishter through your Aveda. The Eibish is higher than Aveda could be Mamshech. That's the hair Yid hairs. This is the same thing here. The Kohen Mission, I can't touch over here. It's higher than the Susal Satus Leila. Meila versus Dimshach. But Dimshach can't gilu. Fine.